4Runner time. Time to talk about 4Runner. I'm going to show you a little clip before we finish this video. It's 4Runner time, and in a few minutes, right here on this video, you're going to see how long we've been selling 4Runner and how many 4Runners we've sold. It's amazing, the institution of 4Runner. As Jeep has gone away from the SUV class, even the Jeep Grand Cherokee now is not built on a frame. It's built on a unibody like our Highlander. So we're almost the last game in town, a big beefy frame and an off-road vehicle. I'm standing by a Limited. Let's talk a little bit about drive systems because you have a choice. When you look at 4Runner, you can go SR5, you can go Trail, or you can go Limited. And you're making a decision not only on the way the vehicle's equipped on the inside, whether it has leather or sunroof or all the amenities, but you're actually making a decision on the way the drive system works. Most people that move up into the Limited are looking for a luxury SUV, but you get a lot more. Talk about SR5 for a second. Part-time four-wheel drive system, like Tundra, like Tacoma. So you're driving virtually all the time in your 4Runner SR5 from the rear wheels. It's a rear-wheel drive vehicle that shifting on the fly can take it to four-wheel drive. But the part-time system limits you. You can't drive on dry asphalt, hard-packed sand, stone, because what will happen is the front wheels will start to bind. But when you choose Limited, you've changed everything. You go into the Land Cruiser type of drive system. It's what Toyota calls the full-time four-wheel drive. I like to refer to it as all-wheel drive. All wheels have power all the time, and you can drive it on all road surfaces. All, in my mind, means all. So let's talk about it. You're driving this system all four wheels because instead of having just a transfer case, you have a Torsen limited slip center differential. What that means is the front differential allows power to be distributed to the wheels with the least resistance, or it gives you the ability to change power side to side. Rear differential does the same thing. It lets the spin rate be equal or not equal as you turn the vehicle. When you have a center differential, it allows the axles to rotate at different speeds. Therefore, when you turn, that center differential can always apply power to both wheels. Toyota has a choice. When you start driving this straight down the highway, all four wheels are turning at the same rate. The Torsen has been programmed by Toyota to have 40% of the power to the front wheels and 60% of the power to the rear wheels. I don't know how to say this other than you just have to remember that. We look, why do we have a little bit more power to the rear axle? Well, if you look right behind the 4Runner, you're going to see a receiver hitch. So you always want to tow from the rear axle. So Toyota sets up the dynamics so that happens. When you go up to the Honda and you look at their Pilot, the Pilot's really set up, if you're going straight down the highway, to move all the power to the front axle like our RAV4. Well, I'm towing in my big SUV. I want power to the rear axle. The Torsen can also, if the front axle starts to slip, I don't need to keep pouring power to the front axle, and I really don't need that traction control to kick in and start slowing the wheel speed down. So the Torsen can grab power and shove it to the rear axle at up to 73%. So it'd be 2773. If I have a rear wheel spin, am I pulling a boat up a ramp, and it's mossy, and the rear wheels start to slip, well, I don't need power to be poured back here. I want the power to be moved to the front, so it can do it up to 51%. So the Torsen can move power between the front and rear axle, giving you the traction on the wheels where they're most utilized. Think about this. This is exactly the way we sold Land Cruiser for years. Why would you buy a Land Cruiser? Because you had way too much money and you wanted way too much of a beast? Yes. But the second reason to buy a Land Cruiser is because the drive system was flawless. So we're putting a Land Cruiser type of drive system in a daily SUV. Value is what Toyota's all about. And remember, when you trade this in, this system's still going to be on there. So the Limited 4Runner stands alone in the 4Runner class. Sell them all. This has been Saturday Morning Meeting, PK 52.